Hey guys, it's Megan and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I thought I would do a little something different. I saw this video that several creators have been doing on their channel, and it's sort of been a guilty pleasure lately. I'm not pregnant or anything like that. I don't need baby names, but I've really been enjoying watching them. I kind of went on one of those binges where it's like 2 hours later and you're like, what did I just do with my time? Anyway, I just think it's such a cute little idea and I thought I would share some of mine. Not sure if you're interested or not, but if you are, keep watching. So, girl name wise, I was pregnant with my first one and we didn't know if she was a girl or a boy. We did find out eventually, but we waited to find out the sex. And then we were torn between names. We had a list of girl names once we found out. And I was torn between the two the rest of my entire pregnancy. I loved the name Lila and I loved the name Paisley. And so from the time I was 16 weeks pregnant until I delivered her at 37 weeks, I had not decided on a name. We were still going back and forth on those two names. So her name is Lila Mae. And we call her Lila Mae. We don't just call her Lila because she doesn't look like just a Lila. She looks like a Lila Mae. And I just think it's just a sweet little name and she was just the sweetest little baby. So she didn't have a name for like 8 days after she was born because unexpectedly she was born with special needs. We had no idea. It was the shock of our life, to say the least. And so the last thing on our mind was naming this baby because she got rushed out of our room as soon as I delivered her. She was turning dusky. So she was turning like a grayish color and she was rushed to the NICU, and then she didn't come home for the hospital for a few months after that. She was transferred to a regional hospital that was more specialized in what she had going on. So she didn't have a name for the first 8 days because that was just not on our radar. And so it was good for me because I am a planner, like to the end. I have to plan. So you think I would plan these baby names and I would have it planned my entire pregnancy, but I'm so indecisive with baby names that I couldn't decide. And so we got to spend 8 days with her and got to really know her before we chose a name. So we named her Lila Mae, just FYI, but we loved the name Paisley Mae. For our daughter's middle names, we decided to use family names that are on my side and my husband's side. So Mae is one of those. You know, it's my mother-in-law's middle name, it's my grandmother-in-law's middle name, several other relatives in his family, and then Mae is a middle name in my family that several people have either as a first name or a middle name. So Paisley, I just loved it. It kind of was a little trendy that year when it came out because this was 5 years ago, and it was a little trendy, but I still loved it and I still love it. Paisley. I think of Lily Pulitzer and her Paisley prints, and I just think it is another sweet little name. I love vintage, old-fashioned names that you've heard of, but they're not super common. So a name I also loved for a little girl was Presley. I love it. I think it's so cute and sweet. I just love these sweet little names that end in like Y or an A or something like that. And my husband really wasn't as big of a fan as I was, so he kind of just said absolutely not. The third name was during my second pregnancy. Found out again at 16 weeks we were having a little girl, and instantly I was like, oh, I'm gonna name her Ella. I love that name. It's amazing. I think it's so cute. It's so popular. I feel like I know so many Ellas, but I think it is just such a sweet, dainty, feminine, cute little name. But my husband was like, we have a dog named Bella, and he was like, absolutely not. We can't have a daughter named Ella and then a baby named Ella. And what I did, I was sneaky that time because I chose Lila Mae's name, the first name I decided. My husband's like, you decide. And so I wanted to decide again because our deal was if you have a boy, you can name it. If I have a girl, I'll name her. And so I was sneaky. I went and ordered a bunch of coming home from the hospital outfits, and I already had them monogrammed with her name. And we had already picked a middle name. Again, it's a family name on his side and on my side, and the name was Pearl, and I just loved Ella Pearl. I thought it was adorable, and I just thought it was so vintage and just such a classy name. And I thought, like, Ella Pearl, she can't be anything but sweet. She's not going to be sassy. And so he just said no, he didn't like it. And I had some monogram pieces done for her bedroom. And I had spent a small fortune on all this stuff because I'm like, there's no way he's going to do that to me. And yeah, he said absolutely not. And still, when we went to the hospital, in my hospital bag, I brought 2 of the outfits that I had engraved or monogrammed, embroidered Ella on it, Ella Pearl. So that's another one. My husband's favorite name was Olivia, and I love that name also. I think it's a gorgeous name. It's so popular right now with Olivia Pope, but I feel like it's always been a really popular name because it is a beautiful name. And I would have named her Olivia, except for I didn't like the O in the monogram. Like, if I were to monogram or initial something with the initials, I didn't like the O. And I know that sounds super weird, but I'm just like so picky about things. I want it to sound feminine, and I want it to end or begin in a certain letter, end in a certain letter. And I thought, oh, well, we could call her Livy. Like, I'm obsessed. I think that's lovely. I love it. Livy. And I said, you know, Livy's a name that she could use as a child. And then when she's an adult and has a career, she could be Olivia. And he just was like, I don't like Livy. Like, if we name our child Olivia, we're going to call her Olivia. And so we just put that name aside, even though we both liked it and he loved it. But that was the other one. And the 5th name for a little girl that we would have chosen instead of our second daughter, who is Adeline Pearl. Her name's Adeline. She was named by my husband. He liked the name Adelaida. He's never really been a country singer or country music listener, and he listened to George Strait's Adelaida and became obsessed with that song. And I'm like, I'm not naming her Adelaida. Like, no. And that wasn't on our list, but he came up with the name Adeline. And because I said I'm not naming her after the Ella debacle, I was like, nope, you decide, the pressure's on you. And then I liked the name Eliza. I thought that was gorgeous. I love the name Eliza. Not Liza, but Eliza. But Lila, Eliza, we just felt like it was too close and too similar, and we thought it would be kind of a tongue twister in our house because, I mean, as of now, our daughters are Lila Mae and Adeline, and we still call them the wrong name. So I couldn't imagine Eliza and Lila. So that's how we ended up with our girl names. So I don't have any boys, and I don't know if I'll have a boy. I don't know. As of right now, we are satisfied. We feel like we're complete. Things could change in the future, but as of right now, we love our little family. So there is a name that I would choose, so I'm not going to have that on my list, obviously, but have other names. So the first name was my favorite name of all time for a boy. It was Sutton. I thought it was very Southern, very vintage, very prestigious. I felt like if you put that on a resume, it would be very distinguished, and you could use it as a baby name and a name as an adult. But my husband really wasn't. He liked it, but he wasn't in love with it. The second name that we both loved was Maverick. We loved the name Maverick. We just thought it'd be a little difficult for our little ones to say. Like Lila Mae, it'd be hard for her to say Maverick. So even though Lila Mae is 3 syllables, it kind of flows better than Maverick. It's a little harder to say. So, and we obviously wanted to give her a name that she could easily say because she does go to speech therapy, so we didn't want to make it challenging for her. The third name that we both love, we both love this name, is River. I think it's masculine. It's an adorable little boy. I can just see him with like a newsboy cap on and suspenders and a little bow tie. We love that. And then also I can see as a teenager and as an adult. The fourth one was one that I liked and my husband loved, and I feel like it just became super popular about the time, like 2 years ago. So we wouldn't have named him this if my daughter had been a boy, and it was Parker. I think it's a very strong name. It's very Southern, and then it's kind of like using a last name as a first name, and that's why my husband liked it. And then the last boy name that we both love is Jack, but unfortunately we wouldn't use that name just because it seems like it is one of the most popular boy names ever. So there's always that. I hope you enjoyed this list. I was a little out of my comfort zone to make this video, so if you liked it, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't yet done so, and I will see you in my next video. Thanks, bye.